Well, how about these scenes in Leeds? An open-top parade fit for the league champions as Leeds United celebrated their Premier League return with tens of thousands of fans in the city centre. They returned to the top flight after 2 seasons in the Championship, having clinched promotion in April and winning the league last Saturday, finishing a tremendous season with 100 points. And here to talk more about Leeds United, one of my favourite people ever, my cousin, Patrick Bamford. Pat, it's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, guys. Nice to see you.
OK, we've got to talk about the football in just a little bit because you're in Vegas, right? How has it been? You with the entire Leeds United squad. Did the owners take you out there? Are you having fun so far?
Yeah, it was one of the stipulations, to be fair, that obviously you know how we've got the American owners now. They were keen last year to take us to Vegas if we won the playoffs, but it didn't materialise. So obviously all the players and even the staff from Prague were quite keen to push it this year. So yeah, we're here now.
Pat, I got a couple of questions for you. First of all, can you explain how you're related to Poppy? Are you guys brother and your dad's or sister or brother or whatever? How does it all work out?
So technically, Poppy's dad is my dad's cousin,
okay,
but they're best mate. So it's basically the same as being like my uncle and cousins. So we just say we're cousins. Technically, we're second cousins, but yeah.
I got another question too. Oh, wow. Oh, there's the picture. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Poppy, you've come a long way.
Have I become quite cute there?
And also, I want to ask you another question about Poppy, because we've had the pleasure working with her for the last 4 years.
Oh,
and
God, here we go.
Actually, back in the day, there was a vote. We had to vote in a host, and we voted her in because she talked about how good she was at football, and she was a footballer. She had an understanding of the game. And then I watched her play live, and she was terrible. I don't know if she had an off day or what. Can she play football?
Yes, she can. Yes, I've seen her play multiple times.
Thanks, Pat.
Hold on,
You
wait.
have my back.
Pat, staying on that though, come on, you must have
Yeah.
a story for us about Poppy, a real funny story when you guys were young, something that Poppy did that really embarrassed you.
Do you know what? I don't have an actual, not first-hand story, but I remember Dave was telling me one time when, I think, it was either against Forest or with Forest, and she was only young playing. And I can't remember the ins and outs, but basically, I think either Dave or one of the girls, the older girls, ended up making Poppy cry a little bit. And that was early on.
Oh, God, well, that probably happened quite a few times. Is this about me or is this about Pat?
Happens once a week. We got her crying once a week in here.
Who's crying, you or me? One of us at the end of the day.
Together.
Pat, so you went out last night. How is everybody?
Yeah.
Are they just like on cloud nine? Because obviously to get promoted was the goal, wasn't it? But to win the whole thing as well was the cherry on top.
Yeah, and I think in the manner in which we won it as well. Obviously, it went down to the wire, and we thought at some points we're probably going to end up coming second here. Because obviously on the bench, we knew what the Burnley score was as well, and they were winning. So the fact that Manos scored in like the 91st minute or whatever it was, I think that just made it even better and made the celebrations even better as well.
Pat, just before we move on quickly, as a player, does it really matter for you guys that you really want to win the league to go up, or you guys are just happy and relieved for guaranteed promotion back to the Premier League? Or do you want to go up as champions?
Do you know what? I think that the first aim always is you just want to get promoted, because ultimately the aim is to be in the Premier League next year. But once you've if you get promoted early, once you've celebrated that, like it's within us as footballers, I guess, that you always want a little bit more. And so regardless of how much we celebrated the promotion, we were always going to push to try and win the league. And that's something that goes down on your record. And the manager was quite keen to kind of make sure that we kept our heads on and ready to win the league as well.
We love seeing those scenes of you all celebrating, obviously, with the parade as well. But something that's gone viral is you playing the guitar. I knew that you played the guitar, but I didn't know you were that good. We've got a clip of it that we're just going to show.
Sam's going to be happy he got his voice in this singing.
Yeah, to be fair, when you passed it over the mic to the other guy, he was much better, wasn't he, at singing?
Do you know how it happened? So the guy who was like singing in the Irish bar, it was his kind of night, his performance, and we were never meant to turn up. And then obviously we turned up, and I said to him after a few drinks, I was like, "I'll play later if you want with you." And one of the physios had said, "I can sing this song." So I was like, I can play it on the guitar, so if you want to sing. And as you heard in the video, he's pretty tone deaf, so I quickly passed the mic back to the proper singer.
You said enough of you. Grell, you would have liked it. Pat loves country music. You like a bit of country music.
Music's class, absolutely. I love country music.
I want to ask Pat, for me, was it that you were feeling the music so much that your eyes were closed, you were in the feeling of it, or was there other reasons why you could barely open your eyes?
No, just when I'm playing, I just get in the moment, you know. I proper enjoy it.
Did you bring the guitar to the Vegas pool party? Is it there with you?
No, I've left it at home. Probably for good reason.
Hey, so Pat, I wanted to ask you also, go back to the football, a couple of questions also. With the American players, obviously there was McKennie there, Tyler Adams, you have Aronson there as well. What are they like in terms of how quickly did they assimilate and sort of get into the understanding of what football is like there and what the culture is like there? Because obviously English humor is different than American humor. Yeah,
do you know, obviously Weston was only with us for a short time, and he's one of a kind. Like, he's crazy, but in a good way, but he is honestly mental. And then I think Tyler, when he came over, Tyler's a little bit more level-headed, still a funny guy, but he's quite sensible. But I think he actually fitted into English football probably the quickest out of all of them, just because his style of play kind of suited his position in the midfield, especially now. Now he's kind of got over the last few injuries. He's done really well. And then Brendan, like if you ask Brendan himself, when he first came over, he probably struggled a little bit. And obviously went away on loan and then came back this year in the Championship. And he's had a really good season. He said he went away and worked a little bit on his strength and stuff. And I think you've seen that this year from him.
Pat, how do you see yourself in the dressing room? Obviously, one of the senior players. Are you the leader of the dressing room? What do you see your role as?
Do you know what? It's not until you look around the dressing room that you actually think, God, like, I'm getting old here. I'm getting on a bit. So I do try and like lean on my experience a little bit. And I think this year I've spoke to a lot of the players who maybe haven't been in the team as much or as much as they'd want, and kind of like leading them through that and just keeping them calm a little bit. I think we have obviously Ethan as captain and Pascal as captain, but then there's older players like me, like Carl Darlow, who I think without us realising ourselves that the players kind of look up to a little bit. So we can almost lead by example, and then when we need to say something, it generally, our word counts for a lot, if that makes sense.
Well, Poppy, in the when we were preparing for this interview, she made you 2 years older. She said you were 33 years old. So she doesn't know how old you are. You're only 31. So although you're a senior guy in the changing room.
Don't listen to my Grella. I did say you're 32, and Grella was like, "You don't know anything. He's 31."
I heard 33. I'm with Grella. You did say 33.
Right, let's clear this up. I'm 31, and I've got lots of years left in me.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to do. 31's still young.
The funny thing is, Pat, Grella's cousin actually works in this building. So I said, Grella, how old's Marcella? Couldn't even put a guess out there. So that's how much she knows.
She's not a professional footballer, though.
Well, she's very special. She's very important.
Yeah.
Pat, obviously, all your future is with Leeds United at the minute. That's the focus. But selfishly, I would love you to one day move to America so I can see you more, see Michaela more, the kids more. Would you ever consider a move to Major League Soccer at some point in your career?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's something that... obviously, over time with Michaela, I've spoke to her about it in terms of playing abroad and America being one of the options. And it was something that when I was younger, I always wanted to do at some point in my career to kind of experience a new country, the living, the lifestyle there, and also trying myself in a new league. And I think once you have a family and a wife, it's got to be run by them. And to be fair, they gave it the green light and they said, look, we're going to go with whatever's best for you and whatever challenge you want to take. So it is something that I would be open to, yeah. We just don't know when yet.
Rumour has it Wrexham are in Vegas as well. Are you guys going to intertwine, hang out with the Wrexham boys, or are they too Hollywood for you guys?
Do you know what? They were in the same places as last night, but they were like different sides of the room. And to be honest, I don't know too many of them, so I didn't really go over. But you could see on the screen that Wrexham were here as well. So.
Wow.
I could imagine you'll probably all be quite friendly by the end of the week. Obviously, last question, next year in the Premier League. You've played in the Premier League before. How excited are you to be back playing Premier League football and with Leeds United as well, personally?
Yeah, I think that obviously last time round, it was so long since Leeds have been in the Premier League, and everyone was desperate to keep us there for as long as possible. And I think now, especially with the their ownership in the 49ers and the way they've kind of set things up, I think that they're giving it a little bit more stability this time around, which obviously only bodes well for the club itself, but also on a personal note, like, I'm excited to be back playing there. And I feel like almost playing in the Premier League suits me a little bit more. And obviously last time round I did pretty well when I was there. So I'm hoping to kind of emulate that and try and do the same again.
Yeah, you sure did. I'm looking forward to seeing you when I'm back at home, Pat. Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy Vegas.
You could get back to the champagne glass behind you, mate. Don't worry about it.
See you, Pat.
Cheers, guys. See you later.